What is going on YouTube? Khan here once again, and as you can see we are once again in my room. It's been a very long time since I've made a video in person with just me, you, and random ass talking. But today is definitely going to be one of those days where I need to catch up, let you guys know what has been going on YouTube in person with me and just everything. Relating to like my YouTube channel, the lack of videos being uploaded, just my arcade games, everything. Is time to give you guys that much needed update. So kind of sit back, relax, and kind of listen to what I have to say for the most part. You don't really have to watch this video, there's not much going on honestly, but there is some gameplay on the side if you guys are interested in that. No AAA, or at least I'm not planning to put in a AAA video, so nothing to really look forward to when watching that. It's just something to look at. So, yeah, it has been a long time since I've sat in front of the camera, obviously, and kind of explained random things going on in life. And it wasn't necessarily supposed to be that way. I actually wanted to give you guys an update quite a while ago, but never actually got around to it because I literally just have not had the time. So, I guess we'll just jump right into everything. So first things first, what have I been up to? Lots of things. Geez, where do you even begin with this? I guess we'll jump back to September. So in September of 2014, I got hired at a new business that opened up in Illinois, and like things were kind of going okay for me because I was working part-time Under the Big Top, and then I was working part-time at this new business. And keep in mind that this new business, it's also an arcade. I'm not going to name it just for privacy's sake. It should be relatively obvious. You guys can easily put the puzzle pieces together and figure out where I work. But I've had problems in the past with people like calling me and being like, "Hey, oh my God, Con, I want to talk to you." And it's like, I don't have time. I'm super duper busy all the time when I'm at work, especially at this new job. So for my sake, just kind of want to keep on the down low as much as I can. But anyways, new job started up, working part-time at Under the Big Top and this new place, going back and forth. And in October, when the store actually opened for the public, geez, like it must have been like 2 weeks after we opened, they came up to me, the higher-ups came up to me, and they're like, "We want to promote you and we want to make you full-time." And I'm like, well, that's great. Like, I would love to continue working here as much as I can. Like, this would provide me with like great opportunity, especially going into the future. Like, who knows where I could end up if I continue working here. And it's something I love to do. Whereas Under the Big Top, it's kind of the same old thing over and over and over again. And there's not much room for growth at that company. It's just one place, and there's just not much to the place, unfortunately. So on that note, I told Under the Big Top, this our job, offer me full time, and I'm probably going to have to take a temporary leave at least, because at the time I was working like 50 plus hours a week because I was that busy at the store. And they seemed to really understand that, it was probably just going to be something temporary until like we got more hands on deck and I had a little bit more free time to kind of stop in and work on things at Under the Big Top over this other place where just there's a million things to worry about. So I ended up pretty much leaving Under the Big Top, I guess, at that point, because only have a few situations after that did I go in or get called to be like, "Hey, can you look into this game? Hey, can you fix this go-kart problem?" Those were very seldom calls, and I usually was never like really called in about any of that. So at that point, it was the moment I left Under the Big Top, actually, which again, it wasn't meant to be that way. It was supposed to be just a temporary thing, but that's how it ended up playing out. So, obviously my games are still at Under the Big Top, at least for now, and I have to go into explaining that whole situation, so geez, get ready for this one. My games are going to be leaving Under the Big Top on February 15th, it sounds like February 15th. It might be a day or two earlier, depending, because I have to take a business trip actually at around that time. But we're planning on February 15th still to pull everything out. And there's a handful of reasons actually why this is. One of them is the obvious one. I'm not at this company anymore. It's hard for me to watch over the games, which brings me to my next point. There's been several occasions now where I've gone into Under the Big Top to just check up on things, and there's been a problem. Back in maybe December at some point, yeah, I guess it would be around December, I got a phone call from my brother, or a text, and he said, hey, there's something wrong with your DDR machine. There's just a vertical line going down the middle of the screen. So he sent me a picture, and it is vertical collapse. And unfortunately, the vertical collapse means the monitor's, it's pretty much no good. The board that goes to the monitor has to get repaired. So I'm like, well, that's great, and it's probably been like that for a while, considering the plays went down on it, and they were like pretty much non-existent. So that tells me that, you know, they were turning on this game, and they weren't even checking to make sure like it turned on okay, or if there was a problem. They just turned it on or just walked away and didn't think much of it. I'm like, okay, whatever, fine. So I take out the monitor, send the board in for repairs, and I'm still waiting on the board to come back. But this most recent visit that I went to Under the Big Top, I go in, say hi to one of the owners, and they give me kind of a rundown of some stuff. Go over to EZ2DJ, and the motherboard is overheating. And it's been overheated so much that the capacitors are bulging on the motherboard, and there is brown around like the CPU area by the fan. So my guess is this board was probably saying, you know, like on screen, hey, you might want to turn me off. I'm getting really fucking hot and I'm gonna pretty much explode. I would probably recommend you turn me off. And it was ignored. So now I have this somewhat broken PCB inside my EZ2DJ machine, and again, it sucks because that machine is extremely rare. The board for it it's not something you can easily find anything for that machine, especially in America. You definitely have to get contact in South Korea to get you any parts for this machine. So I turned off the cabinet, I unplugged it, I'm just like, well, that's great. That's 2 games in a row where this has occurred. And like I look around the room, oh look, there's 2 games are off. Like, why are there the 2 games off? And you know, I went home on that note, like really frustrated, and I kind of like sat down and started thinking, you know, what's the best situation? What should I do? And this is all accompanied by lots of reports of people coming in to Under the Big Top and saying, hey, I'm at Under the Big Top and there's not a single music game on. Hey, I'm at Under the Big Top, Drum Mania is turned off. I take it it's broken, I can't play it. And keep in mind, the only machine that should have been down was DDR because of the monitor issue. It just means that the owners are not turning on these games. And I just don't have any real like thought on why they wouldn't turn on these games. So this is also just accompanied by one other big letdown, and it is the fact that they asked me to remove the DDR 2014 kit from their DDR machine, which, you know, if there was like an actual good reason, you know, I'd understand it a lot better. But the reason they're giving me is that the game is in Japanese. The game is in Japanese? Really? That's the reason that you want me to remove the game? That people are saying the game is in Japanese? I find that very hard to believe because almost none of the games in that music game room are in English. None of them. And I worked there for years, and I haven't come across one person that has ever complained about any of those games being in Japanese. So I'm finding just this story that, hey, we want this kit removed because it's in Japanese, extremely hard to believe. And they're like saying, oh, we got receipts to prove that we've been refunding people for DDR. I haven't looked into any of this, obviously, the receipts or anything at this point, but I highly doubt that there are people coming up complaining that the game is in Japanese. It's so out there that I can't even process it. I really cannot. So for like a month, I put up a how to navigate, how to play thing on the side of the machine to help people sort of navigate the menu, but apparently it did nothing, supposedly, according to the owners. But yeah, I don't believe it. So fine, if they want the machine or the kit removed, that's fine with me. But you know, if they're making this story up, I just don't understand why. I don't understand why they wouldn't just say, hey, we don't want this kit in our machine anymore, can you just please remove it? I'd be like, okay, not a problem. Instead of making me go through this effort to try to keep the kit in there and everything like that, it sucks because, you know, I made all this time. I took away all my free time essentially to make this how to play thing for your machine, and in the end it meant nothing. And it probably meant nothing in the first place because you guys just wanted the kit taken out of the machine. I don't understand it. I really do not. So on that note, also on February 15th-ish being a big thing, DDR 2014 will also be removed from Under the Big Top, as well as all the other music games that are there, except for Under the Big Top's DDR Supernova 2. That's obviously theirs, so that will still be there. Everything else is going away though. So yeah, that definitely it was definitely a blow, especially to the community, I'm sure. And it was definitely not something that I wanted to do, taking out all these games. But you know, you have to add up all these instances and issues and problems all together and kind of make a verdict on, you know, is it right to keep them there? Are they getting the respect that they deserve? And every conclusion I could come to is, you know, it's not worth it. Clearly, the owners don't care about these games if they're not turning them on. Clearly, they don't care about the community if they want to remove the DDR 2014 kit. Clearly, they don't want me in the picture anymore at their business. And that's fine. I just wish they would be a little bit more honest with me, because just by piecing the puzzle together, like it's clear that they wanted these games out, and they just wouldn't be honest with me and say, hey, I think it's time for you to remove your games. Instead, they just decided not to turn them on, decided not to tell me that there's problems with them, and decided to make up a story about the DDR machine and a reason why I should remove the kit. And I don't understand. Like, I really don't. I wish I could understand. Like, I thought we were cool, me and the owners. I did a lot of stuff for Under the Big Top, and they've done a lot for me, and I thought we had a mutual understanding about just us, and it's clear that that's not the case, and it's been bothering me for like over a week now, that whole entire situation. So yeah, that was definitely hard to swallow and hard to tell everyone around me and all the other people that have machines there that we had to take everything away in a couple weeks. So yeah, geez, where are the machines going? I'm sure you guys are wondering that too. They're gonna be going back to my house. They're not gonna be on location anymore. After this last experience, especially with people that I thought I understood, I literally don't have the will to put them out on location anymore. I just don't. Like, it's hard for me to explain, obviously. It bothers me that, you know, just the whole entire situation, having to break that to the community, just everything. It's really made me lose my will to put them on location anywhere else. I'm sure some people understand that and some people don't, so I'm sure I'm going to get all sorts of feedback on this video. But it seems like most of the people that are around this community in Chicago, the Chicagoland area, they're kind of understanding of the situation, thankfully. And I do plan on having some people over in the future once I move into a new house to have people come over and play the games. But for now, it's kind of sayonara for most people. So yeah, machines are coming back home with me. In 2 months I'll be moving to a new house, it looks like. So the machines will hopefully be going into a basement and I can play them whenever I want, and then I can have people come over if they give me a bit of a notice and it's on a day that I'm not working. So there's always that. There's some obvious good that's coming out of it, but a lot of bad things for sure, because I wanted these games to be playable for everyone else, and they're not going to get played as much, obviously, just by me sitting at my house. Alright, so on that note, I'm sure you guys are wondering what's been going on with the live streaming, the videos, everything else. As far as YouTube videos go, I obviously don't really play Under the Big Top anymore. I really don't play there at all. I haven't played there in about a month, if I were to take a guess. So any videos that are being uploaded are ones that I've had backlogged. I have probably 14 videos left to upload. So I've just been spreading them out as much as I can over the weeks. So that's why you're only getting 1 or 2 videos a week right now. It's just because A, I don't have time to actually render and make videos, and B, because I just don't have that many videos left. So videos I'll be making more once I move my machine back to my house, once I get the monitor board back in, put everything together, do some maintenance on the machine, then there'll be more videos. Especially when I move, obviously we're going to get really back into video editing and stuff like that, because I'll also be out of school, and I'll have my associate's degree. So that's all good news, obviously. There's good things coming my way and your way, obviously. And I'm sure you guys are wondering about the live streaming situation. That won't happen until I actually move into the new house, so it's still gonna be a while for that. But what I do want to mention is the money that I got from live streaming actually went towards something pretty recently. So there's this board for DDR machines called an EXTIO board, and it's pretty uncommon to find ever for sale. You'd have to pretty much find a machine that's getting thrown out, and then they're gutting the machine, because it runs this board is important to run the newer games. You need it to run DDR 2014, DDR-X, X2, X3, Supernova 2. And a friend of mine was actually selling one. I'm just like, hey, put me down for a bid on it. And he's like, don't worry about it, man. If you can send me the money, then it's yours. So I sent him the money, and it's shipping to me right now. So that's what the donation money went towards. The donation amounts that I got did not cover the price of this board, though. It was a lot of money. It was hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get this board. So I'm really excited to get this board in. I do have a DDR Supernova 2 kit sitting over there, kind of where that cardboard box is at the bottom of the screen. I'm not sure if it's going to get cut off by the video. But yeah, I'm going to be able to play Supernova 2 at my house. I have a DDR Supernova hard drive and dongles sitting around here somewhere too. So definitely it's not going to be same old DDR Extreme and older. We're going to get some newer mixes in here. And the person that put their kit at Under the Big Top for DDR 2014, he said I can borrow the DDR 2014 kit until we find a home for it, which is great news, because that means I can just clean up as much of DDR 2014 as I can until that goes back out on location. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Hopefully I covered pretty much any of the questions that you guys might have had. I know a lot of people have been asking questions and comments about, hey, when's the live streaming stuff going to happen again? Where are the videos? What's going on with you? Now you guys know. I've been busy, and this is like all on top of like really stupid, silly hour things. Like my car broke down in the middle of January, and I had to get a new car. Just there's been so many big things that's been going on with my life, and winter break was like hell for me because at this new job, there's so much traffic at the store. Like I didn't even know what to do. I was like a one-man army. I'm just like, I'm so fucking screwed. But yeah, anyways, that pretty much wraps up everything. Please leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys think of the whole entire situation. Do you blame me? Do you think I'm a villain of some sort? Let me know if I suck, because I think I probably suck. And that's pretty much it. Don't forget to leave a like, a dislike, whatever on this video as well. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.